Hi, I'm Earl with Broadcast Rentals in Phoenix. This is the Sony f55. We're going to explain a little bit about the f55 today. This is part of Sony's offering of large format cameras, the top end of which is the f65. The 55 is directly below that. Then next is the f5, the f3, and the FS700. The only distinction you can see between the 55 and the f5 is that this ring, which is silver on the 55, is black on the f5. That's the only external difference. However, internally there are several significant differences between the 55 and the 5, foremost of which is the sensor. The sensor on the 55 is closer to the sensor on the f65, while the sensor on the f5 is more like the sensor on the f3. Also, the f55 offers a global shutter which minimizes CMOS artifacting. Sometimes people will call this jello cam and this type of thing. As you can see, we have a setup menu on the side here. There actually are two menus in here. This is a quick access for things like slow and quick, color temperature, the different gammas, and ISO. Within the gammas I have S-Log2, hyper gammas, and standard. So for instance, I can go into hyper gammas and I have a selection of hyper gammas I can work through. And the same applies to standard. I have a selection of standard gammas, including 709, which is available. And then obviously, where most people will spend most time with this camera is on S-Log2. That is the ultimate usage of the camera within most productions is going to be an S-Log. S-Log assumes that you will do your finishing in post. This area we have the ability to affect color temperatures. We have memory where we can actually change by hundreds. And then we have presets. If we are in S-Log2, we will be limited to just the 3 presets. The ISO setting is dependent upon which gamma setting you are on. In S-Log2, the base setting is 1250, and you can go all the way to 10,000 ISO. Beyond the quickly accessible items featured on these soft buttons surrounding this display, there is a separate menu button, and this is how we actually will get into the real menu of the camera. And the menu is not displayed here, the menu is displayed in the eyepiece. This is the LCD eyepiece. It has 2 operational modes. One is through the eyepiece or looking in this direction. The second is to flip it up and look in this direction. And as you can see, once we do that, everything is backwards until we hit mirror, and now we correct it. Now we are in the actual menu of the camera. There are obviously many segments within this, but we'll explore just a couple here to begin with. We'll go into the camera menu itself and come down to lens interface. You see we have 3 choices, type C, type A, or off. Since we are dealing with the Fuji Cabrio lens, we have it on type C. This allows communication between the camera and the lens and also gives power to the lens to be able to zoom. Okay, now we'll walk farther down into the menus. Into System, and within System here we can work between PAL and NTSC, 2398 to 5994, 2997, 25, and 50. Base setting for the camera. Normally YPBR, the camera can also operate RGB and RAW. And the color space right now is normal. If we were shooting S-Log2, we will want to change the color space to S-Gamut, which gives us a color space which actually exceeds film. So S-Gamut is the color space if you're shooting S-Log2. Then we have record format. As you notice, we have two options at this point, the XAVC format and the MPEG-2 format. The XAVC is a new Sony format designed especially for the new S/S cards, which can write up to 600 megabits per second. The main differences between this camera and previous S/S or XD cam cameras is that this camera uses the Sony S/S Pro Plus cards. This is a 128 gig card. The other difference is that in the case of the F3, it recorded 8-bit to the S/S card. In this camera, you are recording 10-bit to the S/S card. And again, on the XAVC format, you can write up to 600 megabits per second using this card. The camera also is designed to have a raw back attached. It's configurable, the same basic body configuration as this adapter is right here, so it just kind of all freight trains out here behind the camera. If you're using the raw back, you are recording raw at 16-bit color space. On the opposite side of the camera, we have an HDMI out and 4 HD-SDI connectors. The top two are grouped together and considered main outs. The bottom two are grouped together and considered sub-outs. We also have timecode, genlock, test out, and shutter here. We have an XLR input, which can also accept AES. We'll turn the camera off and remove the V-mount battery. And then we'll remove this power adapter module here. The R5 raw back would mount in this location, just like that. And then the actual configured battery, the olivine battery, would fit right behind the R5 to power the entire camera. If you are curious about how the F55 could help you in your productions, please contact us at broadcastrentals.com. We can discuss with you additional lensing options and other options pertaining to this camera or other cameras such as our F3s or our FS700. Thank you.